What's going on, guys? So today we about to get into this quick little weekly breakdown on, let's see, I'm going to be going over NAS 100, GBP, JPY, gold, and US 30. I'm going to show you guys my Bitcoin analysis and all that, but I'm not going to break it down in this video. So let's get right into it. So firstly, like we do on everything else, we start on the daily time frame, and we're going to mark out the previous day's daily high and the previous day's daily low. I'm not going to explain why we do this because I do it every time. You guys should know by now. But matter of fact, if we don't, then I'll go over real quick. Basically, just understanding candlestick analysis and understanding the way candlesticks move overall. You understand that if a candle is printing bearish, then the likelihood of the next candle printing bearish is more likely. And if it's same thing, if a candle prints bullish, the chance of the next candle printing bullish is also going to be more likely. So that's that. Also, you want to keep in mind any daily order blocks while we're on this time frame, and in this case we're currently at one right now, and we're gonna do the 50% of it. I've been doing this way more lately just because I've noticed how much they be respected. So let's put the 50% of this order block right here, and we're gonna take this fib off now. Didn't mean to get rid of that. Get rid of the fib, and we're going to, let's move this over more. We're going to move down to now. Matter of fact, let's pull the fib now because this makes sense. We're going to pull the fib from that low to this high right here at 14,200, since it's at this level that we have. And we're going to move down to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so now that we understand that we're overall bullish overall, why? Because we understand that the market is still creating higher highs and higher lows right here, and possibly right here is where the next one we're looking to be formed at. So if you look at the daily order block and where the 50% of that order block is, we understand that this order block is in confluence with this overall fib that we have drawn. So now we understand that the price is bullish. We understand that we want to see price either come down. Where is my poly line? We understand that price could likely come down a little bit farther before going up to continue this overall uptrend. But you also got to keep in mind that if price starts to break these levels and break past the 79%, we can expect price to then come lower to areas such as this 4-hour order block down here. But in that case, I don't want to see that happen just yet. So we're overall bullish, and now we're going to mark out imbalances that we have on this 4-hour time frame. The higher the time frame, the better the confirmation, and that goes for anything. It goes for imbalances, your fibs, your order blocks, all the above, everything. So we understand that we have an imbalance up here where we will likely eventually see price trade up to fill this area to potentially keep going down or keep going up. But as of right now, it doesn't matter. We gotta stay in the present and look at what's happening as of right now. So we know that price is falling and it closed very bearish. So we can likely basically assume price will continue to fall to at least come maybe to the 79% or the 50% of this overall daily order block before likely pushing up to continue this overall uptrend. And if you look right here, when we had this break of structure right here, for break of structure, put this in the middle. I'm gonna move this over. This is where we had a break of structure, and from here we were looking for price to then retrace into an order block for this continuation upwards. So now we understand what's overall going to happen. Now we just got to watch for these confirmations. We want to watch these areas right here because this is key area right here. We also have the 14,000 level. We have the 79% of this fib. Let's take this 50% off. We have the 79% of this fib, and we know that is also the 50% of the daily order block. So let's put 50% of daily order block. That's a little fucked up, but you get the gist of it. Why is the caps on? Yeah, I can't spell, as you guys can see. Take that off. So the 50% of the daily order block. So we have multiple confirmations in this area that we want to likely see price reject off of. So that's basically what we're looking at overall. We're clearly moving in this overall uptrend, so we eventually want to see price keep going higher. So we just going to see. So let's move on to the next pair. Our next pair is going to be GBP JPY. And same thing. Overall, price is falling right now. So what we're going to do, we're going to mark up our daily high, previous day's high. And we're going to mark up our previous day's low, which price is trading close to right now. So we can anticipate eventually this is more likely to be broken than the high. Why? Because it's a bearish candle and it closed to its real low. So all right, so now we also know that right here we have a daily order block. So let's move that over. We had this daily order block. We're going to mark out that level 151.758. So now we know that price is likely to keep falling. Why? Because we're overall falling, overall in this overall uptrend, and we're close to this order block right here. Another thing we could do, we could also have this order block in the daily, and let's mark up the 50% of this order block and see where that is. Do that, get our 50% on the fib. Move, that is not where I wanted it to go. Pull it from here, pull it over, and if you see, that also is close to this other order block right here. So we can leave those two. We won't have the main one drawn, so we understand this is the 50% of the big order block. So we're just going to do of daily OOB. So now we have two confirmations right here. 50% of this order block, and this is the bottom of this first order block. So this is double confirmation with the 51,500 area. So this is an area we're going to be looking for rejection off of to overall continue this uptrend. And why do we want to see the uptrend? Because we understand that we're making higher lows and we're also making higher highs. So we're going to anticipate price to make another higher low before overall pushing higher. And this is only on the hour time frame. So let's move down to the 4-hour time frame and see what we see there also. So this is falling right now. Also, if you look 4-hour order block, so there's a lot of confirmations in these areas right here. This is going to be a simple markup, honestly, because there's not really much to look at. Everything's falling. We just have to wait to see price come into these areas, 151.758 to 151.500, and these are the areas we're going to be looking for confirmations at. So let's just look at it overall on the daily, because this is the easiest way to look at it, and I don't really trade this pair that much. So overall, what we're looking to happen is price to fall. Is this the right one? That's not polyline. We're expecting price to keep falling to this area to do whatever it's going to do, possibly consolidate before potentially moving up. And areas that we could look to target, we have an imbalance right here. Right here. This imbalance we want to see get filled. We have one that's more than likely going to be filled. Not filled, but made once this next daily candle is formed, because I doubt we will retrace this full candle. If we do, we do. But this is overall what I'm looking to see. And if we pull our fib from this top, I'm going to pull it to this level down here, 151.500. We can see that we have multiple confirmations. We have this fib level here, and we also have this last up candle before this down move is going to be our bearish order block up here. So we have a lot of confirmations in this level up here, which is 154.500, basically what is rounded to that 154.500, and that's overall where we want to see price eventually go to. Let's flip this camera. If you guys seen, I do have a face cam now for you guys, just to have this level of, I don't even know what the word I was gonna say. This level of, man, what's the word? Shit, I don't know. Friendship. Just so you guys feel more secure listening to what I'm saying. It just gives us a level of friendship, not friendship. I don't know what I mean, but maybe you guys understand. But overall, we want to see price eventually come up to this area, because if price does want to keep this overall downtrend, we could make a higher low before potentially coming lower to these areas down here. So let's just delete these. Delete this. And yeah, that's likely what we want to see. So we want to see price continue to fall to 151.500 for a potential push to this top 154.500 area. So let's move on to the next pair. Our next pair we're going to be going over is gold. And yeah, everything's just falling, as you guys can see. Last week wasn't the best week that we've had. It was just a lot of downwards movement for the majority of the week. We were able to catch a good amount of moves, and we will this week, but I'm actually going to be on vacation, so we're going to see how much we can do. I'm not looking to really trade nothing crazy. So we have our daily highs and daily lows marked out. We rejected this candle. This candle is highly rejected, so likelihood of it keep falling is very likely. If you look to the left, it looks like we're probably going to break this low. That's what is very likely to happen, because this order block right here is not being respected. So what we're going to do, we're going to look down farther, and we're going to look for the last up candle before this overall up move, and that will be right here. And the level that this is at is 1744. So since we're here, we're going to pull our fib from this level to the top of up here. And actually this doesn't even work out, so we're going to pull it from this very low. So this is going to be the overall fib that we're going to be using right here. Let me move this. So now we have confirmations right here. We have the 70.50 and the 79% in confluence with this daily order block. So we want to see eventually price have a reaction in this area here. Why? Because we have two confirmations so far, and we're overall, if you look at this, we're overall keeping this uptrend. So we want to see price potentially, we have this low, we made a higher high and potentially make a higher low to potentially keep moving up. But mind you, we just got to play it day by day and wait for these candles. So let's move on to the 4-hour time frame and see if we see anything in here. Let's delete this. I think this was an imbalance. Zoom on in. So yeah, you can see we're breaking lows, and it looks like we're going to be breaking this low next. A price that we are currently at, if you look at this last down candle before this overall up move that then broke all these highs, that looks like where we are at right now. So we also want to keep in mind, if we start to break this area, we know if price doesn't reject this area that we are currently at right now, if this doesn't range when the market opens to potentially keep moving higher and break these highs, because mind you, we're at the 62% and we're at this order block on the 4-hour. Let's mark that up. 4-hour bullish order block. This is our daily order block. This is our 4-hour. So we have two confirmations here also. So that's why you also want to keep this in mind. For anyone that's trading gold, I would not hop in any trades as of Monday until you possibly see consolidation with highs being broken with something like this. So you can see that price is likely to keep on trading up higher, and areas that we will eventually look to target are areas up here where they're, all right, let me take this off. The magnet's fucking me up. So areas up here that we have imbalances that we eventually want to see get filled up here, because likely if price does keep this downtrend, it will not trade higher than these imbalances, in my opinion. I could be wrong, I could be right, but you just got to play it out and see. So overall, this is what we're expecting to happen. If price doesn't respect this area right here and trades lower, we know that price will likely come to 1744 to potentially keep going higher, because you also got to keep in mind that these are fib levels still. If the 62% isn't respected, then the 70.50 could be respected, or the 79. So keep in mind that also. So we're looking for a more bullish week to possibly retrace all this downwards momentum that we've had throughout this week. So let's move on to US 30 now. So US 30 is my main pair, so we're going to see what we're expecting to happen. As you can see, US 30 has just been melting, breaking lows right here, and it's just been falling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days, almost 2 weeks. 2 weeks actually, it's just been falling. So let's mark up our daily highs and daily lows. So our daily high, and then let's get our daily low. Our daily low is real more than likely to be broken, more than likely, because there's like no wick on this daily candle. But let's keep in mind, let's look at this last up candle, this last down candle before the up move. I'm actually going to bring it down to this candle too. That's where price is at right now. So I'm looking for rejection during this week. Let's fix this there, and we're going to pull our fib from this top to the bottom. I'm going to put the 50%, and we're also going to put the 50% of this candle, because yes, this is a daily order block, so this, we want to have the best confirmations and best stop loss possible. So we don't want to get in up here, because if you do, your stop loss would be almost 200 points, and that's not what we want for intraday trading. We want to at least have a 50 to 60 point stop loss. That's what I usually go by. And if you look on this higher time frame while we're here, you can see there's multiple imbalances that we want to see get filled if we do start to retrace during this week. So we have imbalances at 34,200 level. So that's two confirmations up here for price, for a target for price. So let's move on to the 4-hour time frame. It's basically the same thing as NAS. We overall want to see price reject these areas. So if I pull my fib from this bottom of this overall move, I'm going to do it from here, because this is where we took out lows, and then this is the last candle before it started this whole up move. We're going to pull it all the way over to the top of this candle. I'm going to draw it from 35,000. Matter of fact, since we're so close, I'm going to draw it to 35,000. If you look to the right here, 35,000. I have it from this low. And if you look, let's take this 50% off. We have confirmations here also. So like I said, I'm more than likely to not take this trade off of this top. So I'm gonna move this order block to here from the 50%. So this is the 50% of it, and this is the bottom of it. It's at the 70.50%. So that's two confirmations we have in this area. So let's put the eyeball, because this area we're going to be looking for rejection to possibly see price take off higher. So what I'm expecting price to break this daily low, because why? The last candles were all bearish candles, so we can anticipate price more than likely to break the lows than to break the highs. I want to see rejection, and then I want to see highs get broken and respected to potentially move upwards. And if you look right here, we have more imbalances in these areas right here on the 4-hour time frame. So we have a lot of imbalances that we want to see get filled this week due to the large momentum of this downwards movement that we've been having. So that's really it for US 30. It's basically the same thing as NAS, nothing crazy. We just want to wait for rejection, and if we don't see the rejection, next areas we could look to target would be all the way down here at this 4-hour order block, but that's pretty far away, and I honestly don't think we'll see there. So 32,528, so 32,500 area, basically 32,600 area, and that's really it for US 30. It's nothing crazy. We just have to wait. It's not much we can watch right now. It's just been falling, so we can only anticipate price to keep falling before we get a retracement. So let's move on to now my Bitcoin analysis, what I'm expecting Bitcoin to do. So I've been looking at Bitcoin since the market's been closed, and as you can see, price just was falling, consolidated, made some highs, broke these lows, and then this was the move that then pushed and broke these highs up here. So from here, I was anticipating price to trade down into an order block to then reject, and that is exactly what's happening right now. So let's move on to the 4-hour time frame. We had this daily order block right here under the 79%, which we rejected, and now we're making new highs to push higher. And if you look on the daily time frame, this is a daily rejection candle, which is going to close in about 4.5 hours. So that's really it for Bitcoin. I'm expecting price to keep traveling up to then try and fill in these imbalances right here, because if Bitcoin does want to keep this overall downtrend, it could likely come up to then keep going lower, because Bitcoin has been falling. But if this is a move that's going to potentially break highs and keep going higher to fill in imbalances on the daily around 53,000, this is the area you would want to be getting into right now. Why? Because we're rejecting a daily order block, we're rejecting a fib, we took the liquidity from these lows, so the only place that I'm expecting price to go is up as of right now. And an area that you really want to see get broken is right here. What level is this? 36,436. So once this high is broken, you can anticipate prices more than likely at that point to then fill this imbalance to keep going higher. But until then, I would just wait it out and just see what happens. So that's really it. Hopefully you guys have a good week. I'm gonna be in my Telegram group. Let me just get that out real quick. I'm gonna be in my Telegram group for majority of the week for you guys to join. As you see, I always have my analysis in here, what I'm looking at every day with US 30. So we're going to see what we could do, and that's really it. So hopefully this video is informational and can help you guys this week in the markets, and I'll see you guys next video.